So as you read from the title, this summer I'm going on a proper cut. So I've started this cut now 3 weeks ago, and in 3 weeks I have lost 2.5 kilos, okay, which is quite a lot. Now in the past I never really done a proper cut. Like in the past I've had periods where I was eating a little bit less than usual, but I was never like counting my calories. And you know, I've always been someone who ate clean. I've always ate healthy food. I never really, you know, had a bad diet in the past. But now, like right now, for the last 3 weeks, for the first time in my life, I've started counting calories, because in the past, I used to think counting calories was bullshit. Turns out it isn't, because as I said, I've lost 2.5 kilos in like the space of like 3 weeks and a half, which is very, very good. And yeah, in this video, I basically want to tell you like all the very little details and things that I do in order to like become absolutely shredded, so that you guys can copy me and we can literally do this together. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing that I'm doing every single morning, so I'm gonna go like, you know, I'm gonna go based on like from the morning all the way to the evening. So the first thing I do in the morning is drink a lot of water, and I drink a lot of water throughout the day. You just reminding myself to drink. If you haven't done it, have a glass of water with me as well. So why do I do this? Well, first of all, I do this because water keeps me full. It makes the hunger go away, okay? Now, I am someone who does intermittent fasting until I'd say 11:30 to 12 p.m. Now, the reason why is because, first of all, I am never really hungry in the morning. And one thing which keeps me full is water. Like, I literally drink like 2 liters of water every single morning. Now, of course, I don't just chug them down, because then you're going to just urinate them, and there's no point in doing that. But what I would recommend you do is wake up. The first thing you do before you have a coffee, before you do anything else, drink a full glass of water. And do this like pretty much every, I'd say like 20 minutes. Just drink a glass of water. Trust me, it's literally going to keep you full. And also, water is very healthy for you. It's good for your cells, it's good for your body. We're made of 80% of water. So, you know, it's absolutely mandatory that you just drink a lot of water, and especially in the morning, because first of all, your body needs it in the morning, and also because it keeps you full, and you can literally go until lunchtime without eating. At least for me, you don't have to go to that extent, but it's a very good way in order to keep you full. Now, another thing that I do, and yeah, make sure that you do this every single day. And also, one thing is after you have lunch, after you have a meal, dinner, lunch, a snack, whatever, drink water, because it's going to make you like, it's going to tell your stomach and your body, okay, you had your meal, then you have some water, that's it, you don't need anything else. And trust me, this is a very good advice, which I really hope you take. Just have a glass of water every single time you finish a meal. And also, I wanted to add, this is because like I've noticed that every time I have a meal, I'm always still a little bit hungry. But if I have a full glass of water after a meal, it's like the taste of that meal goes away, and so does my hunger. This is like a weird trick which I found for myself. You guys can probably relate to this, but it's really helpful, and I really like want you guys to do the same. Have a full glass of water after you have a meal. Now, another thing that I'm doing every single morning is I am having a fasted morning walk. Now, why am I having a fasted morning walk? Well, first of all, walking is absolutely great, because you literally lose calories. Like, you burn calories when you walk. Walking is quite enjoyable, and you don't even realize that you're burning calories like going on a walk, because as I said, it's really enjoyable. Now, the reason why I have it fasted, so I don't eat anything before I go on a morning walk, is because when you go on a morning walk fasted, your body cannot rely on the stored carbs. So what it does is it taps into the stored fat. So you're literally burning. So when you go on a fasted morning walk, instead of like using your carbs in order to produce energy, your body is literally burning fat. It's literally burning that belly fat that you have. You know what I'm trying to say? And if you do this every morning, you guarantee you're going to see a huge difference in like a week, in literally in weeks. So fasting morning walk every morning, mandatory. Now, if you have a job that you start at like 8 in the morning, so if you have like any appointments in the morning, for example, you're going to school or you're going to work, this is what I will do. So instead of like getting on the bus for like 5 stops, instead of like getting on the tube for like 2 stops, it's really, really worth it to wake up 20 minutes before and go and walk in instead. True, seriously. Or what you could do instead is, if you're getting the tube for like, I don't know, 10 stops, just walk the first stop. Okay, so the first stop of that tube journey, just walk it instead. It's really, really worth it. Trust me, it's really, really worth it. I even stopped cycling to work now, and I started walking instead, just because I've seen my body like change. I've literally like seen my belly change since I've started doing this. And because we're like in the topic of walking, walk everywhere you go. Seriously, walk everywhere you go. No, not just in the morning to go to work. Just walk everywhere you go. If you're going to get some shopping, just walk instead. If you're going to, especially if those distances are very short, like especially if it's like just a 5-minute journey in the car, literally, bro, just if it's going to take you like 15-20 minutes walking, just do that instead. Trust me, all these little walks, they add up at the end of the day, and they make a huge difference in terms of for your calories. Like you're gonna burn a lot of calories, and they just keep you active. It's so good for you. But because we're talking about cutting and dieting and like losing fat, trust me, all these little walks are gonna add up, and they're gonna make a huge difference at the end of the day. So walk everywhere you go. Have a fasted morning walk every single morning. Guys, you don't have to go on a walk for like an hour. Even if you have like a fasted morning walk for like 20 minutes, that's huge, because how many minutes? That's 20 minutes one day, plus another 20 minutes another day. That's 40. 1 hour, 1 hour and 20. You know what I'm trying to say? Like these little things, they all add up each week, and you trust me, they make a huge difference. So walk everywhere you go. Have a fasted morning walk. The most important thing that I'm doing this summer in order to achieve my dream physique, get shredded and lose fat, is counting calories. I've never been a fan, by the way, of counting calories. I've never done it in the past, but since I've started doing it, I have realized many things. Now, the first thing that I've realized since I've started counting my calorie is how much I was eating before. Like my portions before were huge compared to now. Why? Because I wasn't counting my calories. So I was like taking a little bit for granted, and I was like, yeah, you know what? This is healthy. Let me just have as much as I can. I've started counting my calories, and I had to reduce my portions so much because they were just so big before. Literally, I just realized how much I was eating before, and no wonder I wasn't losing any weight. Like even if the food that you eat is healthy, but the portions are like, way too big, you're gonna gain a little bit of fat. You're gonna gain a little bit of fat. Like it's if you don't burn it. Okay, so even if you're like lean bulking, it's literally called bulking for a reason, because you're gaining weight. So yeah, if you want to lose fat, if you want to lose weight, track your calories. Now, in terms of your macros, maybe I'll change my mind in the future. At the moment, I'm not really tracking my macros. Like I know how many proteins I'm having and how many carbs I'm having, but it's mandatory that you count your calories. Like you need to count your calories. The one thing that I want to say is have like a goal that you want to reach every day, but that can change. What do I mean? So right now I am eating around 2,500 calories, okay? However, on some days I'm having maybe like 1,800 to 2,000 calories. And when do you think those days are? When I'm taking rest days. So when I'm taking rest days, I am going to lower my caloric intake by, for example, 500 calories, by subtracting 500 calories. Why? Because I don't really need them on those days, and I'm not as hungry as I am on the day that I train. So on the days that I train, I am going to have more calories, because I will need those calories in order to perform during my gym session, and I'm going to reduce my calories when I don't need them, which is when I don't train. You know what I mean? So it's very important that you have like a goal of how many calories you want to, reach each day. But realize that on some days you might need more calories, and on the other days you might need less calories. And that's absolutely fine, as long as you keep the baseline the same, okay? So yeah, count your calories, absolutely mandatory. If you want to lose weight, count your calories, eat a lot of protein, eat a lot of carbs. Do not cut out carbs. Guys, I am eating a lot of carbs, okay? As long as I am in my caloric range, I am eating a shit ton of carbs. Why? Because carbs are your main source of energy. We need carbs in order to perform in the gym, and you shouldn't get rid of them. Seriously, you shouldn't get rid of them. Last year, I went on a carnivore diet for like 5 months. Worst decision I would have made, I could have ever made. Actually, it wasn't the worst decision, because now I know that I'm never doing that again. As much as I love to eat meat, I love eggs, fish, and I still eat them nowadays. If you're training a lot, you cannot cut out on carbs. You need carbs for energy. Carbs are literally your main source of energy. If you train a lot, you need to have carbs. Like, my trainings literally went from here to here since I've introduced carbs back into my diet. Like, I remember that I was going to the gym on a carnivore diet, and I just had no energy to train. I always felt very lethargic. I always felt like very tired, and that pretty much slowed my gains. Like, I didn't make any gains during that period of time. People may say that, oh yeah, but surely you lost fat. No, absolutely no, because I didn't train hard in the gym. I didn't have energies to do any cardio. Okay, now that I eat a lot of carbs, I do cardio 3 times a week. Why? Because I got the energies to do so. And also they say, oh yeah, but carbs make you fat. They don't. Carbs retain water. When you go on a low carb diet, the first 3 days, the reason why you're going to lose weight is because carbs retain water, so you'll be pretty much losing all water, okay? But after that, your weight literally stays the same. You need carbs in order to lose weight, because how do we lose weight? By counting calories, by living a healthy lifestyle, by walking, by doing cardio, by weightlifting. And where'd you get that energy to do all of that? By eating carbohydrates. It's simple as that. Now, in terms of my cardio, I am going on the Stairmasters 3 times a week for 30 minutes at a 12 speed each time. I'm slowly progressive overloading into doing 35 minutes each week. So starting from this week, today's a Monday, I am doing 35 minutes instead of 30. And pretty much this is all the cardio you need. Yes, I go and play basketball sometimes. I like once every few weeks with my friends, which is very, very good. It's also very fun. I also, some now and then, I go on a run. And this is what I'm doing for my cardio. And it's really, really helping. You sweat so much when you're on the Stairmasters. I actually used to not like going on the Stairmasters. Seriously, it's very, very good. You sweat so much. You burn calories. It's not even that effort. It doesn't even require so much effort. So pretty much, you can literally do it whenever you want, even after your training sessions. Oh yeah, do it after your training sessions. Really, really recommend that. But the last tip that I want to tell you is train as normal. Literally just train as normal. Many people, when they want to lose weight, all they do is start doing a bunch of cardio, which, don't get me wrong, that's absolutely amazing. You need to do cardio if you want to lose weight. However, lift weights. Please go to the gym. If you want to lose weight, you need to go to the gym. Why? Because when you go to the gym, you increase your muscle mass, which means that you're going to boost your metabolism, which eventually means that when you are at rest, so when you're not doing anything, you're literally burning more calories than if you had less muscles. Okay, so you have to go to the gym if you want to lose weight. It's so fun. It's definitely more fun than doing cardio, and it's just so important for you, just in general, to look more attractive. So guys, I literally just revealed pretty much all my secrets. I mean, not so secrets, but I reveal all the things that I'm doing this summer in order to become shredded. I hope you do the same. Now, if you got it, so if you followed up to this video, it probably means that you are very serious about yourself and about losing weight and about becoming shredded and more attractive. And I am offering one-on-one coaching, so DM me on Instagram. I'm going to leave the link down below on the description. I also wrote a mini guide on how I transformed myself over these years, and I'm going to link that down below as well. It's very, very cheap. It's I think I selling it for like £5, and I pretty much reveal everything. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you on the next one.